Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. I got that ready. Let me see who's here. Okay. Connie Balmer. Thank you so much for being here first. There we go. And Carol Lunn, Brenda Gray, Veronica Quick, Beverly McCaskill, Mary H., Sharon Chung. Let's see, Jesse Jose. Okay. MOD. Beverly Jackson. Did I say hi already? Anyway, and there's a bunch of other people. So thank you so much. Hey, Cookies and Cream. All right. Let's get this party started. Um, Look at how pitiful Will and Kate look. Oh, they're just pitiful. Oh, they're pitiful. I cannot believe that they have been roundly criticized as of late, which they deserve it. They are well overdue. Really, they are. They are long overdue for some constructive criticism, especially, well, actually, both of them. They're both terrible people. Honestly, awful people. I have no use for either one of them. Okay. It is Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, born in 1929, famous civil rights leader. Let's see. I believe he had his doctorate in theology. Is that correct? Nobel Peace Prize winner, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Always on the right side of history, honestly. Um, but very few people have I would say moved so many people, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. So, um, yeah, if we were a Catholic country, he'd probably be a saint by now. But I mean, there are my family is Catholic, which just so you know, guys, I can do Catholic jokes because my family's Catholic. Um, have I done any of those yet? I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it. Um, I wish I had some other stuff in my background just for the material. I mean, I am part Irish, so I can do that, and a little Scottish, and I guess I can do some Scottish jokes. Yeah, I got some interesting DNA, but 70 was it 70, 71% sub-Saharan African. That's where I get my beautiful complexion from. I mean, seriously, take a look at that complexion. It is flawless. It is flawless. Sometimes I just want to ask me out. Look at those cheekbones. Flawless complexion. Take a picture. Take a picture. Do a screenshot. Yeah, do a screenshot. Beautiful complexion. Sometimes I just look in the mirror, I'll be like, hey you. Hey you. What you doing? Hey you. Anyway, that's enough of me. Okay, and these are well, actually, the photo on the left side that is like my favorite photo of Dr. King and Coretta Scott King. That is my favorite photo of them. And the one on the right side, you may not recognize that photo, although I did share it a while ago. That is the photo that was the inspiration for that sculpture where they are. It's just like a huge giant embrace, anonymous embrace. There's no heads, there's no torso. It's just a long embrace. And some people do not like that sculpture, but I think it is very abstract. I think it makes you ponder. Um, I think everything hits just the right note. It's one of those things where there are so many hypercritical people on the internet where we all have to have some negative opinion about anything and everything. We're all food critics and strategists when it comes to every sport in history, and we're all clinical psychologists, and therefore we can diagnose people. Oh, give it a rest. Just take a deep breath and enjoy life. There's so much more than just criticizing everything. So I love the sculpture. I don't have an image of it to share with you, but um, when I realized exactly what the image represented, the embrace, I thought, now that is amazing. I love it. So, but like anything else, what is unfamiliar today will be beloved tomorrow. Okay. Um, hmm. I'm streaming now. Okay. Uh, hey, Church Nelly, Sharon Chung, Janice Goodrich. Also, this look at the scale of this sculpture. It is from solid marble, I think, and this is a massive piece. And of course, they had to get this right. And to do that, you really have to understand the veining in marble that could create little fissures and everything that could cause the marble to crack. So the marble, of course, is not as porous as, say, limestone. And so, therefore, should it reach any freezing temperatures, hopefully it will not cause the stone to fracture. And if you look in the background there, as you can see, it's as though um, Martin Luther King is from the mountain. He's on the mountaintop. He is the mountain. And it's as though something as um, internal and invincible as a mountain, it's as though he just stepped forward to become man or something like that. I don't know. I'm not so good at interpreting art, but I think it has something to do with that. But anyway, it's a great sculpture. Now, they actually altered this sculpture uh, because of an incident that happened. What has it been? 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, when there was a fight, a nice, good, clean, old-fashioned fight having to do with that boat down in, what was it, Mississippi or someplace. And the thing that really turned the tide of the battle in favor of the black folks was somebody began to brandish a white folding chair. And so, in the spirit of, in the spirit of said folding chair, they decided to add a folding chair for those days when you don't want to turn the other cheek. You get me? Those are for those days when you just don't want to turn the other cheek. Instead of turning the other cheek, you reach for a folding chair. So that's what's going on here. But you knew that, right? I mean, I'll do my best to interpret art whenever I can, but yeah, this is for those days when you just don't feel like turning the other cheek. You reach for your chair. Uh oh, a little echo there, wasn't it? Yeah, that's what that represents. So, yeah, if you need any more explanations when it comes to art, just let me know and I will do my level best to, you know. help you out with these things. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Pamela Bickers Tuttle, thank you so much for being with us. Great to see you here. And of course, this was the incident with the folding chair. That chair on the right side that was planted on the crown of that drunken slob is what set a tidal wave of white folding chair sales. So nowadays, when I leave the house late at night, my family always asks me, "You got your chair? Don't forget to take your chair with you in case there's trouble." So got to take that chair because you just never know. You get me? You never know. You got to take that chair in case there's trouble. So, wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Ooh, that was Butch, wasn't it? Hey, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. Also, in this highly politically charged atmosphere that we live in, as this country shifts to an authoritation, what do you call it? Is fascist too strong a word? Anyway, as things become more different, for lack of a better word, this individual right here says this is what he does to go to work every day. He puts on the Star Spangled Banner, he grabs his passport, his social security card, driver's license, birth certificate, MAGA hat, and of course, an American flag. It's the only way he can feel safe and secure to go to work because right now, um, it is very risky, especially if you live in certain neighborhoods where seriously they you can show them all these things and still they will take you in. There was a native girl who a Native American girl who was out and they grabbed her and her family says, hey, this is her birth certificate and so on and so on. And the poor girl didn't get out of jail until 4:30 in the morning. They just simply did not want to hear it. So I don't know how people feel about the current policies with the detentions and such, but we got to do better. We got to do better. And I'm as liberal as they come when it comes to immigration. So I would be the wrong person to talk to if you feel like there's too many others in this country. I'm the wrong person to talk to. So it's a real shame. And in a way, this was supposed to be humorous, but it's also very necessary. Because at the rate we're going, none of us are safe. I mean, seriously, the way things are going, none of us are safe. So, anyway, just something to think about. I hate what's happening to my country right now because I really do love this country. And whenever I travel anywhere in the world, it's something about arriving at O'Hare International Airport that I feel like I can decompress. That being said, I am still very critical about the things that are wrong with this country, and I have a right to criticize. So, um, That's what comes with my birthright, is that I can discuss the things, I can protest the things that I disagree with. Okay? All right. Look at what I got. That is my Digital Haven Design Company t-shirt. Isn't that beautiful? Unbreakable and steadfast. If you guys recall, the other day, I shared the link for the website. One of the squatties has created this incredible resource. If you recall, I received those great coffee mugs. Well, I was waiting for this to come in the mail, and it finally arrived. And is it ever nice? I do apologize for the wrinkles, but I haven't had a chance to, iron it. It came folded kind of tight, but anyway, the cotton feels very quality, and the image, I love the image. That is just that pose is, it's really hairy. That pose right there, that is hairy. So anyway, it's great. And again, oh, you know what? Maybe I should give you guys the link, shouldn't I? Let me grab the link for you, and then you can look at some of the stuff they have over there. So I'll throw this up here, and I will grab the link just for you all. You can thank me later. If you just joined us, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up. Hitting that thumbs up is what helps to keep the lights on. It's what makes Royal Sussex possible. So again, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. However, if you choose to grab one of those Royal Sussex memberships, just remember the Royal Sussex memberships start at $4.99, or just about the price of a cup of coffee, right? For the price of a cup of coffee, you can help support this channel. So that is the link right there. It takes you right over to the website. They have great merchandise. So at your leisure, please do check it out. I just made sure the link goes directly there, and it does. So you're all set. I'm going to leave it up at the top of the chat. So if you need to grab it at any time, it is there for you. Okay? All right. Oh, and this came, it was so professionally packaged. Look at this. Thank you. Thank you for choosing Digital Haven Design Company. Your support means everything and allows me to share my creativity with the world. Each design is crafted with care, and I hope it adds a little extra joy to your day. With gratitude, Digital Haven Design Company. All right. Also, I tell you, you guys are spoiling me. Did you recall the other day when I said, oh, somebody sent me a ceramic egg tray? It is a ceramic egg tray. And at first I was like, you know what? I can put some of my dipping sauces when I eat my dim sum. But I said, no, that's just so country, so ghetto. Let me use this thing properly. I didn't want to be so common. So I got some, cage-free, farm-raised eggs, and I'm using it properly. And it's just the feel of it, the quality of it is amazing. This is said to be one of those items that Meghan used on as ever. Honestly, I don't remember the episode. So if you do recall the episode, please let me know because I want to go back and look at it so I can, see it and have my moment. You know what I'm saying? So I could look at it and be like, oh, I get that. So yeah, if you remember, you can recall the episode, please let me know because I want to go back and look at it and think of how special it is to have something like this. So it is amazing. I've never had anything like that before. So thank you again to the squatty that sent that. That was totally a surprise. Oh, thank you, Church Nelly. Church Nelly has just posted that is the Royal Sussex Amazon wish list. So at your leisure, feel free to go over there and look around. Now, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and John Mills, co-founder and CEO of Watch Duty, spent time in local Santa Barbara station, seeing a fire station, seeing the realities that go into emergency response, checking out brush trucks and rescue ATV. What is a brush truck? As well as thermal search and rescue drones. Now, that is very impressive. The thermal search and rescue. Sometimes when there is a fire or if a building collapses or something like that, let's say if, God forbid, there's an earthquake, with that thermal rescue device, you would be able to see a person in the rubble. And as you know, sometimes, sadly, when there is a house fire, some people actually, well, children especially, they run and hide in the closet, and that can be a disaster. But with the thermal technology, surely there's a way to prevent those things from happening. So that's impressive that they have something like that. And good on Harry to make sure that the public knows the type of equipment that they're working with. Yeah, I like that. And right here, it says the firefighters shared what Watch Duty plays a huge role in their work, and we are proud to provide them with the best information. When seconds count, giving first responders access to clear real-time insight can shape decisions that protect our neighborhoods. We're proud to partner with Archwell Philanthropies, early supporters of Watch Duty during the devastating LA fires in 2025, and excited to keep building support for firefighters on the front lines. So, water. There we go. So, again, Harry just happened to drop by, and as you can see, the wheels are turning, and surely, hey, Joan Garcia, surely he's trying to figure out another way that he can be useful to the local emergency responders. Oh, let's see. We are so proud of the as ever so creative and generous squatties. Enjoy your gifts, Baron. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I really do appreciate that. I always say it, but I'm going to say it again. And I know this sounds kind of corny, but it's just like with my thermal cup. I think it was Lisa that sent me this cup. Every time I look at it and take a sip from it, it's just like I'm getting a big hug from the Sussex squad. So, and then of course my other thermal cup, that is the one that I use for my smoothies. So, yeah, and it's good too because when you give someone a gift, you hope that they're going to get some use out of it. So I try to make sure that I get the use out of anything that I'm blessed with. So again, thank you all. And there is a photo right there, Santa Barbara Fire Department. There's Harry in the center. God, they got a couple of giants there, don't they? And there we go, a little closer. What? Not close enough? How about that? There you go. See, as a baby boomer, I am well aware of what it means for your eyesight to be a little different. So you can always count on me to try to zoom in so you can see what's going on. I feel like it's the polite thing to do. So, love that jacket that Harry is wearing, by the way. And Prince Harry to give evidence in lawsuit against the Daily Fail next week. Look out, Lord Nappyhead. Harry's on his way. Excuse me. So, according to Reuters, a little summary here. Prince Harry due in court on January the 22nd, lawyers say. Lawsuit is Royal's last remaining case against UK press. You guys, this is the last remaining case against the UK press. Associated says claimants' lawyers engaged in conspiracy. And the last part of the summary here says 9-week trial starts at London High Court next week. So mostly the Sussexes have been incredibly successful in court. So we'll see. I mean, it should be a slam dunk. It really should. There is no possible way that they should win this. I believe that Harry and the other complainants should be victorious because the truth is on their side. I think I should get one of those lapel mics. I really do think I should get one of those lapel mics because sometimes I just haul off and start walking to go get me something. I'm going to try one of these throat lozenges. I was kind of singing earlier and yeah, I think I got a little bit carried away. I mean, who do I think I am? Patti LaBelle? So, because I'm not Patti LaBelle, I'm going to have one of these amazing eucalyptus Ricolas that I received from Connie Bomber. Connie Bomber has given me like a lifetime supply of Ricolas, you guys. So, once again, it's Connie Bomber to the rescue. Thank you, Connie Bomber. Uh-oh, did I miss something? Wow. Joan Lawman has gifted 10 Royal Sussex memberships. That is so generous of you, and thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. That is incredibly generous of you. And congratulations to the very lucky recipients who are blessed enough to receive those memberships. Thank you. Thank you. No, really, you're too kind. Thank you. Thank you. See, I got my Oscar speech all ready. The only thing is I'm not an actor, so I'm going to have to try to make a movie or something. I know, right? That's 10 memberships. That is very generous. Thank you again. So it says here, Britain's Prince Harry is due to give evidence at London High Court next Thursday in privacy lawsuit brought by him, singer Sir Elton John, and several other high-profile British figures against the publishers of the Daily Mail. which, of course, by publishers, they mean the racially ambiguous owner, Lord Nappyhead. Lord Nappyhead, the racially ambiguous owner of the Daily Mail, got some splaining to do. I mean, a whole lot of splaining, because they don't just report the news, they invent the news. They cultivate, they curate it, they carefully monetize the misery of tens of thousands of people every year. They have embedded reporters in places that really snubs their noses at the law, and something should be done about it. This is a terrible guy. The only good news that I can give you in the meantime is that the sales of their newspapers have declined greatly. Also, the amount of people that have um, read online, have gone to their awful website, those numbers are on a decline. All of those tabloids, their numbers are on a decline because social media has changed everything. People no longer trust the legacy news. And for some reason, the tabloids, I guess it's that rush you get from the negativity and the bad news and such. Um, Anyone who likes to watch a building burn or chase an ambulance or whatever, um, or stand at the scene of a homicide or something, that seems to be one of their news sources of choice. So it's really disgusting. What an awful way to make money. What an awful way to, uh, in my opinion, the tabloids are leading to the decline of Western civilization. It's not the liberals, it's not the woke, it's not the this, it's not the that. It is the tabloid, very Rupert Murdoch esque type of reporting. It is going to be the undoing of us all. And I just wish that there was more that could be done about it. What a terrible person. And what a terrible paper. Now, new is that New York initiative aims to clean up tech's unintended consequences. I guess that's New York. I mean, it's got to be New York, right? Anyway, this was shared on the, let me get this right, Archwell Philanthropies. I got to get used to saying that. The Archwell Philanthropies. That is where you can find this. No photos to go along with it, just the words. Archwell Philanthropies applaud New York State leadership in launching protections for the digital age through their new Office of Digital Innovation, Governance, and Trust, also known as DIGIT. Oh, that's a mouthful. In particular, the office stated approach to proactively require labels on AI generated content. Huh? Now that's necessary. It's been a very weird week for AI generated content. Prohibiting deceptive online scams and strengthening data privacy protections showcases the full range of so-called unintended consequences resulting from an online world with no rules. It also begs the question of why the technology could not have been developed with safeguards in place from the start. So individuals, states, and countries would not have to clean up the mess piece by piece. It's kind of hard to do that with digital spaces, with anything generated digitally, because I mean, if you know your way around, like even if it has the little symbol that says AI, if you know your way around, then there are ways to eliminate those things. So I don't know how effective that is. However, there is a way to discover these things. They have facial recognition where only the authorities can have these stronger applications of that software. But the facial recognition, even if you're wearing sunglasses, even if you lose weight, even if you have been, if you change the type of makeup you're using, there's a good chance that the facial recognition can find you. So it's not impossible for them to identify something generated by AI. And I'm going to tell you why. A lot of information is processed in an instant, right? And so anything that is processed using any of these AI platforms or software or apps or however they do it, there has got to be a record, an example of it. And in an instant, these supercomputers, they could go and find those images that were created. So if there is a search for, let's say, a very famous person where an AI image has been um, created as something nude and bizarre or something like that, as long as that celebrity's face, that politician's face, or as we found out this week, the Princess of Wales, and yes, I even hear tale of the Duchess of Sussex, have been victims of this type of behavior. They can search for the images of any of those people, and therefore you can find if there is any questionable material. Now, I'm not a computer expert, but I know that that is possible, and it can be done very quickly if they want to. And like when you hear me say, "Oh, I got demonetized because of something I used or something I borrowed or whatever," that's because the software is constantly searching to make sure that I'm not using anyone's copyrighted material. And then they report it to the person who has allegedly been violated for using that copyright material. So I know there's a way for them to shut that down. They just have to want to do it. So they can even embed something within the file so that when it is created, it is cataloged and easy to trace, easy to find. I know they can do it. If we can put a man on the moon, if we can remove that thing from that, um, okay, I ruined that joke, but it was something to do with the mole on that one singer, the young, good looking singer. Anyway, if we can do all those things, if Oprah can be skinny, we can do something about this. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, if a lot of people in Hollywood can be thin, we can do something about this. So let's put a stop to it before it even gets started. Anyway, if you want to see the rest of that, go over to the Archwell thing and you can see it there. Yeah, this is the rest of it. Now, fell asleep here, leather bookmark. Again, I am hearing different numbers, but I don't think it's impossible to say that the individual bookmarks sold out in 7 minutes. I mean, I got in there as soon as the clock ticked. I got mine. And so it wasn't long thereafter that they were gone. They were sold out. So yeah, that's a good thing. The popularity of the Duchess of Sussex is going to be one for the record books. And cheers to the company over in the UK that are the ones that produce these vegan leather bookmarks, complete with our Duchess of Sussex calligraphy. And it's also, I guess you can say, is stamped or embossed with the um, As Ever logo. Beautiful gift. See there? You can see how it has the stamp, or it's embossed with the As Ever hummingbirds and palm tree. Very beautiful. Ah, Megan's Jam is the toast of the town as she sells 1,000,000 jars. Again, you guys, I just love rubbing this in. They tried to expose Meghan as a failure. And not long thereafter, they realized Sister Girl and sold over 1,000,000 units of the, what is that? The trio of spreads, the orange marmalade, raspberry, and strawberry spread. Which, you know what? I haven't tried the strawberry yet. What am I waiting for? Now, Meghan Sussex As Ever bookmark sells out in minutes following UK female-owned partnership. So, this was one of the things I wanted to share yesterday, but we kind of ran out of time. And by the way, yesterday got very weird, didn't it? Thank you, everyone who participated yesterday. I thought it was better to just make that private until we know what's going on, because we certainly don't want to encourage people to shop for something if it's not exactly what it's supposed to be. So that is the reason why that one has been made members only. So it says here, when a leather bookmark sells out in 7 minutes, the speed reflects expectation rather than surprise. The release came from As Ever, the lifestyle venture launched by Meghan Sussex and followed a familiar pattern. Previous As Ever drops have moved quickly when the values behind them were clear. So supporters understood this release because it centered on the collaboration itself. The Fell Asleep Here leather bookmark was made with, I think it's called Sabri, a small UK-based female-owned workshop known for handcrafted, made-to-order keepsakes. That detail signaled limited supply, careful production, and a focus on women-led craft rather than mass output. So there's a reason why there's not a ton of those things floating around, because they're more focused on the quality and not, just reaping this huge profit all at one time. They want everything to be made with a certain level of quality. So good on them for that. It says here the bookmark was positioned as something slower and personal. It was designed for readers, journals, and moments of pause, and it was available to purchase on its own, which is how I purchased mine. I just bought the one piece. And because I spent under $50, I had to pay for shipping, but clearly worth it. There was also an optional set called A Moment to Unwind, which paired the bookmark with herbal peppermint tea and sage honey with honeycomb for those who wanted the full ritual concept. Fans recognized the intent and the scale from the outset. We sure did. We sure did. We did that. The UK workshop behind the bookmark was made in collaboration with Sabri, a small female-owned workshop based in the UK. Sabri specializes in handcrafted, made-to-order keepsakes, which means production stays careful and limited rather than scaled for mass output, even with a strict limit of 4 per person. The bookmark sold out in just 7 minutes. You hear that? You can get it free, or you can get shipping free for up to $50. Okay, I promise I wasn't going to do that again. And you can save up to $200 per family. So that's $50 per purchase. And you can save more money per Baby, take my hand. You can go on a JetBlue holiday and you can save up to $50 per person. And you could also save up to $200 per family, up to 4 people. You know what I mean. Baby, take my hand. Up to $50 per person. You know what? My microphone is getting a little juicy. I better stop because I'm going to wet the equipment up if I keep saying per person. So, all right. I got that out of my... Elaine Parker. Hey, Elaine Parker. This is confusing, isn't it? I'm on early today. I was just saying how if you order over $50 of merchandise from As Ever, you could save up to $50 per person. And for a family of 4, that's up to $200 per family. Just like the JetBlue holiday, or as we say in the States, a vacation. I wonder why you all say holiday and we say vacation. Madonna says holiday. Holiday. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we need a celebration. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Was I through with that? No, I guess I wasn't. Let's see here. For readers less familiar with Meghan's work, the UK connection is deliberate. Since leaving royal duties, she has continued to work with British partners she trusts. These choices reflect consistency and shared values, not sentimentality. No, never that. Anyway, I think I'm done with this article. There is a final thought from Feminagra. Nah, I'll let you do that yourselves. Okay. There's nothing in here that drags Kate, I think. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. So, if you guys would like to see the rest of that article in Feminagra, there it is right there. Meghan Sussex, As Ever bookmark sells out in minutes following UK female-owned partnership. And remember, okay, I'm not going to say it again. I'm exhausting myself. But you know how much you can save without soaking the microphone or the screen of the computer. You already know. And that's, oh, you know what? Is this a soundbite? Well, Muriel shared that. You guys may remember Muriel. She stopped by from time to time. She finds the most interesting articles from the past. And it's incredible the way she can connect to current events. So, like right here, Welsh company is also being forced to move to a bigger factory. That's because of the Meghan effect. What is it? Hoot denim, hoot denim. Whoever gives a hoot denim, has a 3-month waiting list after Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, wears its jeans. And right there it says Meghan sets off frenzy for jeans from tiny Welsh company Hoot Denim. Is that right? Am I saying it right? Anyway, look at that. That is a local ABC affiliate right here in these United States. And because of Meghan, some little dinky small town television station actually knows about this denim wear company in Wells because Meghan wore their jeans. They had to hire more people and move to a bigger production space. And one of the things that they don't mention often enough is that a lot of the people that worked for that company had to get accustomed to the idea that press would be walking through, because not only did people admire the jeans from afar, but the press wanted inside of the factory so they can talk about their I guess the big good luck blessing that they had with Meghan wearing their products. So it was a win-win situation. That is the Meghan effect. They keep saying something about a Kate effect, non-existent. If Kate's effect was effective, it wouldn't be so many clothing companies folding left, right, and center. All of them have one thing in common, is that they were part of a so-called Kate Middleton effect. Well, I tell you, with an affection like that, bring me some penicillin. Okay. Or save. Okay, I'm not going to do it again. I got exhausted. It's like I got. I can't say it again, but you know how much you can save. You know what? Okay, let's go to the next thing. Anyway, thank you, Muriel, for sharing that with us. Now, I have a delicious soundbite for you. Let me get this queued up here. Get it queued up like a JetBlue holiday, where you can, you know what, right? You can, you know what. No, and I'm not going to tell you. You tell me. Do. I promise I wasn't going to say it anymore. So, you know what you can do with those JetBlue holidays. And you know how much you can save too with a JetBlue holiday. But a promise is a promise. And I said I wasn't going to say it anymore. So if you want to say it, you can. But I'm not going to be the one. It's kind of hard to stop saying it. You know what I mean? Once you get started, it's kind of hard to stop. Okay. Are we ready? Anyway, very pretty girl. Let's see what she has to say here. Huh. I guess she didn't have much to say. Did she?
I think there's something going on with the royal family right now, specifically with William and Kate, and I want to gossip about it. There's been 3 pretty negative articles recently from reputable sources, and we're not really used to seeing that in the UK. I wonder if there's something bubbling under the surface. I'm going to summarize these 3 for you. And the last one is tea, royal tea. First of all, just a few days ago, Cosmo US ran an article with the headline, Prince William was known for his outbursts in his marriage to Kate Middleton. The article quotes an interview with a former royal photographer, who is the one who says this quote, William known for his outbursts in his marriage to Kate. The article seems to suggest that there's tensions going on behind the scenes. What's weird is, although this Cosmo article is from just a few days ago, the interview that it's referencing with the photographer is from the summer. In that interview, the photographer also said that William was aggressive with staff, but for some reason, Cosmo didn't include that bit. Secondly, there's an opinion piece in iNews, which is a British newspaper. Headline says, William has control of the media. There's nothing groundbreaking here, but being a British media outlet, there wouldn't be. The British press tends to just hint at something going on. The article basically says that if journalists want access to William and Kate, they have to only do light, fluffy pieces. No shit, Sherlock. This article is also from just a couple of weeks ago, and given that there's just a lot of press about them at the moment, which seems to be hinting at something, I just think the timing is interesting. But it's article number 3 that really got me. This is the list, and the headline is, Kate Middleton attempts to settle down the latest divorce rumour, first public outing of 2026. References online rumours that the couple are living apart, and quotes an unnamed insider that say they are putting off divorce for the sake of the children. It also references that interview with the photographer about William's anger issue. And let me end by saying there have been rumours about William's anger issues for many years, and they really reach fever pitch around that Where's Kate hysteria in 2024. If you want a deep dive on what the streets were saying and what the rumours were about William's anger issues, then comment below.
Okay, so what a lovely young lady. I like her already. Let's see. I want to make sure I get her name here. She has a TikTok, and how come I can barely see that? Okay, I got you. It is C Pets. The letter C, P as in Patrick, A as in Apple, T as in Thomas, T as in Thomas, and S underscore. S as in Sam underscore. And yeah, so she's on TikTok. And if you are on TikTok, make sure you do go and check her out. And we really have to support the people on TikTok because there's a lot of great content creators over there with Sussex friendly spaces, which is exceptional. It's not the rule, it's an exception. So anytime we come across those Sussex friendly spaces, I think we really deserve to, make sure that we support them as best possible. So it's a lot of options out there. So for the Sussex squad, it's an embarrassment of riches that we have so many safe spaces, but it's also very important that we support those safe spaces. Speaking of support, thank you so much, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker, and thank you for being a moderator as well as a member of Royal Sussex. Thank you very much. All right. Now, I cannot play this soundbite because of the occasional, linguistic faux pas, but this young lady has said something I just mentioned the other day. Okay, remember last week I said, I'm not sick, but I feel like I got a cold. My throat, my sinuses, I didn't really have a sore throat or anything. I just felt that little, like you feel just before you realize, oh my goodness, I got something seasonal. And then, of course, it was my sinuses. It wasn't the worst case of sinuses that I ever had, but it was omnipresent and irritating. So I made the as ever peppermint tea, and I added some honey to it. And I promise you, it seemed like I barely finished the cup before I felt completely different. And that is exactly what she's saying, is that she had a cold. Now, I cannot in good conscience say, oh, it's the cure. But the symptoms that I had seemed to vanish. They just seemed to vanish. So I don't know. Take her word for it. I'd rather not you have anyone take my word for it, but I'm just telling you what my experience was. It was it was a moment. It was a major, major moment. And since then, my sinuses have improved so much that I'm not, snotting and blowing all day. So I don't know. The honey, the as ever honey, the peppermint tea, and you know how you don't drink the entire thing? I emptied the cup. I emptied the cup and it was great. So that is my experience. That is my story, and I am sticking to it. So, but this nice lady is on the TikTok. Let me see if I can make out that name. I have shared some of her material before, and she is definitely a trusted space. Her name is Erica underscore Christine 09. Yeah. So, okay. There you go. Content creator tested, Duchess of Sussex approved. Oh my goodness. Every time I look at this guy, Jack Royston, I picture like a California condor sweeping over those mountain peaks in search of do they eat um do they eat stuff that's alive, or they're scavengers, right? Anyway, I picture a little baby condor in the nest waiting for its mom to return and regurgitate something for it to eat. That's what I picture when I look at Jack Royston. I picture some kind of baby bird in the nest with his mouth gapped open, waiting to be fed some scraps directly from the esophagus. I don't know. But that is the vision that haunts my dreams, that keeps me up at night. Is how when you're in a house and it's dark outside and you don't have the curtains drawn or anything, and you see this scary face looking back at you. That's what I think of when I think of this person. So I'm just saying. He's a beast. He's a beast. But he had some things to say. Listen, I know we don't like to support things like hate channels and such, but for a change, it was not all about Harry and Meghan. I put the title there below, but let's listen from a certain point and then we'll discuss it on the other side. Do you all mind? I hope not. But here we go. Woo, he's ugly. What an ugly person, inside and out, this guy. A beast. He's an absolute beast. And I cannot stand him. He just makes me sick. Do you hear me? Sick. He makes me sick. I wish he'd go back to the Andes Mountains. A mean baby bird. Wow. Okay. It has taken me a minute to find it, but find it I shall. You know, I thought I had it just there, but let me try this. Please don't nobody help me. I got it. I said I don't need any help. You're embarrassing me. That means help me look. I'm just kidding. I do need some help. No, I'm just kidding. I'll find it. I'll find it. I promise I will. Oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. Okay. Got it. Now let me find my place and we're good to go. Remember, we'll listen to this and discuss it on the other side. I'm sure you're going to have plenty to say.
About what will it be like when William's king from William. Not actually particularly from Kate historically in the past, but from William. So, you know, there was another reports in the Sunday Times. When was this? This was back in June, as recently as June, suggesting that, you know, when William comes to the throne, it will be an evolution, not a revolution, and all the things he's going to change, and how he wants to have even more impact. William, when he went out to...
Did you guys clock that? Did you hear when he said there will be an evolution instead of evolution? He said that there would be an evolution. Does he realize that it sounded like he said evil? Huh? Is he aware that to my untrained ear, it sounds like he said it was going to be an evolution? I think I heard that. As a matter of fact, let me run it back and then you tell me if you heard it.
Of this kind of framing about what will it be like when William's king from William. Not actually particularly from Kate historically in the past, but from William. So, you know, there was another reports in the Sunday Times. When was this? This was back in June, as recently as June, suggesting that, you know, when William comes to the throne, it will be an evolution, not a revolution, and all the things he's going to change, and how he wants to have even more impact. William, when he went out to South Africa with the Earthshot Prize a couple of years ago, talks about how, you know, what he wanted to change, how he, you know, he's talked before about how he wants the monarchy to be more impactful. And what sticks in the teeth for me a little bit is a couple of things, right? So one, as I've said already, it's so soon into Charles's reign. And actually, Charles has racked up some wins. You know, this tech prosperity deal with Trump that Britain signed, Charles played an instrumental role in that, and he's played such an instrumental role on the global stage in terms of diplomacy with America over the past year. And we never imagined that would happen. So that was a big win for Charles early in his reign. But needless to say, he's chalked up properly kind of 3 years. He's in his 4th year of his reign. And there was, you know, nobody knew whether he would be a success at all as king. Everybody kind of felt like, well, people love the Queen, but it will be different when the king arrives. And actually, in some sections of society, that's true. But Charles has probably also been more successful than people realized. Yet he does need, you know, he's got problems. He needs to win back young people are turning against the monarchy. Overall approval ratings for the royals are down based on what they were before. You know, he's not at the point where he's going to get a...
Now, didn't I just say that yesterday, that the ratings, the poll numbers, the emotional support polls for the royals are down? So when they say Kate is 68%, if Kate is to be on par with Queen Elizabeth II, she needs to be no lower than 80%. The Queen was averaging somewhere around, I think it was 85% to like something just slightly north of that. Uh, and Kate's not get. I think the highest that Kate and William have had their polls were maybe around, I'm going to say around maybe 72%, 73% or something like that. Well, the monarchy as a whole, the entire institution has been underwater at least twice since Queen Elizabeth died. Twice they have been underwater, meaning that they were below the 50% mark. So, yes, they may have higher numbers than everyone else with these polls that are questionably acquired, but they are not so high that they're going to shatter any records or anything like that, and certainly not for a sustained period.
But he's had this massive scandal with Andrew to deal with, and it just feels slightly unfair and unkind to me to just be constantly saying, well, when I come along, it's all going to be different. And some credit to William. Actually, it sounds like from the noises coming out of the political class, from noises coming out of Westminster, William may well have been a driving force behind some of the drive to strip Andrew of his titles and get control of the Andrew situation. And so absolutely credit where it's due on that particular score. But needless to say, also, like, I think the one that was most striking to me was the one I already mentioned after the coronation. Like, just let the guy have some time to be king and enjoy it without it feeling a little bit like you're yapping at his heels to take over. That is actually probably the most awkward thing. I mean, I think some of the public reaction was more along the lines of whether it was offensive to Camilla, but to me, I actually think it's more about it just being another example of the Walesers pitching themselves as being better than Charles and Camilla. The other awkwardness of this whole thing about wanting to have more impact is that actually, first of all, Charles developed this whole idea that the royal family members engaged in social action causes. So through what was originally the Prince's Trust is now the King's Trust, he was the first royal family member to set up his own charity with the name above the door that effectively campaigned on a social cause that had the...
I want to make a note of that quickly. The Prince's Trust is now the King's Trust. Because Charles is king, you would have imagined that he would have given William the Prince's Trust because William is the Prince of Wales. Now, I'm pretty sure originally that was the plan. But because William is so lazy and lacked real interest in anything, Charles thought for the sake of his legacy, I had better change the name of it to the King's Trust. You would imagine that that would be something that he would leave to his son with the title, the Prince of Wales. Not so much. And we cannot forget, William did not find his voice until he was 40 years old. It took him all that time as a future Prince of Wales and then future monarch. It took him a whole 40 years before he decided to throw his hat into the thing and started something supposedly something profound, but essentially he's just copying off his dad and copying off some existing award somewhere, but he's taken on the environment like his dad, and he's got some award initiative or whatever, just like whatever that was they had in someplace else in Europe. But yeah, he has no voice of his own. He uses the voices of other. And by the way, this is Jack Royston of Newsweek. Jack Royston, he's one of the most pitiful looking creatures I've ever seen. His eyes seem as though they are fixated on something behind me. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's looking at me or if he's looking at the picture on the wall behind me. It's very creepy. I would not want to be in an elevator with him for fear that he would, I don't know, eat boogers or something. But anyway, he's a very strange individual.
Seen to be aligned with socially progressive politics. And obviously, Earthshot Prize, climate change, it's walking in Charles's footsteps. That's William's big climate prize, one of his biggest flagship projects. And I don't think that William has given Charles enough credit for that. So then what is William going to have more impact? I don't know that he is. Like, he's setting the bar higher than Charles set the bar. But impact is the hardest thing in the modern world. So William wants to help solve climate change, but will he have an impact? I mean, nothing William can do will stop Trump saying drill, baby, drill, and capturing Maduro and getting American oil companies into Venezuela. Like, Charles cannot change these things. Charles cannot make sound.
You want to know why he won't have much impact? Because William woke up at age 40 and decided to try to have some type of impact, to have some kind of initiative. Unlike Harry, who started Centre Ballet when he was practically a teenager, who was the founder of the Invictus game 11 years ago, and now Travelers. Hello. And William doesn't have a relationship with any foundation or any charity. No, absolutely nowhere near the level of what Harry has with Scotty's Little Soldiers and the Whale Child. He doesn't have anything like that. He has places that he goes once or twice a year, like that last shelter that he went to where he was not even cooking, but just holding a pot and stirring. Remember he did that a couple years ago? Center Point or whatever it is. He went back there again. He only shows up to take the pictures. He's not an effective fundraiser. He doesn't donate anything that I'm aware of. It's just pitiful. He shows up on a poverty tourism adventure, and then he's out of there. The old the poverty tourism safari. That's what he does. The poverty tourism safari, and then back in the well-appointed Range Rover, and then off to the helicopter, which is parked on a rooftop or somewhere, and then back to Kensington Palace or wherever he goes. So that's the extent of his involvement.
Oil exporting countries, or Middle Eastern, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, these massive oil exporting countries stop exporting oil. Like, he can't. And so he doesn't have the power to stop climate change. And so will he have more impact than Charles? Well, he will not be the defining force that stops climate change. And so therefore, why even create the comparison? Like, you can argue it both ways. There's no way that William's going to get to a point where he can definitively, clearly, unambiguously, unarguably say he did more to stop climate change than Charles. So I just think that the Walesers need to stop this thing of kind of comparing themselves and saying, we're going to be better, we're going to change everything for the good. I suspect that they're doing it because they're worried about this whole thing with young people going off the monarchy and want to do something about that. But I would just say what I've said many times on this podcast before, which is that people hate being told what to think. You cannot tell them you have more impact. You cannot tell them that you're going to be the queen who really listens, and you cannot tell them that you're going to be better than your father. You just have to do it and let other people say it for you. And when I say other people, I don't mean aides and podcasters who you've worked with and the people who you do charity projects with. I mean, the public. Like, the public have to see it for themselves and they have to get there on their own. You cannot tell them to think that, no matter how frustrating you might find it. And the reason why the monarchy is suffering with young people.
Remember how I have said a million times, you don't wake up one day and say that I am a global statesman. Other people are supposed to tell you that you're a global statesman. You don't declare it with absolutely nothing to back it up. I love this criticism. Let me run that back just a little bit, if you guys don't mind.
Saying we're going to be better, we're going to change everything for the good. I suspect that they're doing it because they're worried about this whole thing with young people going off the monarchy and want to do something about that. But I would just say what I've said many times on this podcast before, which is that people hate being told what to think. You cannot tell them you have more impact. You cannot tell them that you're going to be the queen who really listens, and you cannot tell them that you're going to be better than your father. You just have to do it and let other people say it for you. And when I say other people, I don't mean aides and podcasters who you've worked with and, you know, the people who you do charity projects with. I mean, you know, the public. Like, the public have to see it for themselves and they have to get there on their own. You cannot tell them to think that, no matter how frustrating you might find it. And the reason why the monarchy is suffering with young people so badly is because cut through is really, really hard in the modern world. Demonstrating impact is really, really hard because everybody spends all their time on social media being told how terrible everything is. And so they don't care about the small difference between giving out some grant money to charities that to not charities, but to climate projects, which is what William is doing, versus making loads of speeches about climate change, which is what Charles did. Like, there's no difference in the eyes of the public. They do not witness that difference. And if they cannot see it, they will not believe it. And they will certainly not be told that it's true.
Can you believe this? Can you believe it? It makes a difference. Instead of just giving out prize money, you have to go out there and do the footwork. I am loving this. I wish more people, first of all, he's dancing around what he really wants to say. That's not good. But he is saying it, so I give him points for that.
I think they're on a hiding to nowhere, and actually better would be to just try to continue trying to find ways to just really connect with people through the work that you do, which is hard for all the reasons I just gave about cut through, but it's the only thing you can do. And, you know, getting into this slightly competitive thing with the king and queen is just not going to help anybody at all. Now, one of the strongest reactions, I think, to this coverage was actually from the day.
Okay. Now, he just said this. Instead of trying to compete with the king and queen, and the thing that's missing is, instead of trying to compete with Harry and Meghan, just get on with it and do the work. But for William and Kate, it is easier for them to just lay in the cut and give their henchmen and women the green light to go after Harry and Meghan, to give their cronies the green light to leak and brief against the Sussexes. Instead of doing the work, they want other people to admonish the Sussexes, to put them down, to tear them down, to tear them to shreds, so that it won't look like they're sincere people, so they won't appear to really care, so it doesn't seem like they're productive. Harry and Meghan, and I know you guys are tired of me saying this, but I'm going to say it again. They had several royal tours, pseudo-royal tours, whatever you want to call it. They were royal tours. And they were well planned, well executed, without the Home Office, without the Kensington Palace and Clarence House and Buckingham Palace, without the government, any of that stuff. They were able to do that in spite of the fact that Harry's nation of birth, his home nation, has tried to advise people not to help them, not to welcome them. Several trips to Canada. They've gone to Jamaica. I'm going to call it the Royal Tour. And the real meat and potato tours, Nigeria, Colombia, the Invictus Games. As far as I'm concerned, that's the Royal Tour. All of these things were done outside of the reach of the palace. And they were flawless. They were popular. The beautiful photos, the videos. And this is without welcoming the tabloid media. They had to feed off the scraps of other people. They weren't even allowed. And these things were absolutely epic.
The Patel, who, she's one of these Daily Mail columnists who has started to get just a tiny little bit more confrontational.
Let me just put that back a little bit. Okay, here we go.
The competitive thing with the King and Queen is just not going to help anybody at all. Now, one of the strongest reactions, I think, to this coverage was actually from the Daily Mail columnist Amanda Patel, who, she's one of these Daily Mail columnists who has started to get just a tiny little bit more confrontational in relation to Kate. Now, the Mail obviously loves Kate in general, but some of those columnists do sometimes sound a bit of a more hostile note. And she's not criticizing Kate, but she is criticizing the piece and seems to be saying that it was a mistake. And so here, I'm going to read you a little bit of what she actually wrote about it. So the headline was itself a warning, and it read, "Be careful, Kate. You don't realize it, but your inner circle may have inadvertently stabbed you in the back." So inadvertently is obviously doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. So they're not suggesting a deliberate stab in the back. Clearly, I do not think that Kensington Palace intended the coverage to come out this way or look this way or seem like, they were proclaiming the rise of Queen Kate now or anything like that. But I do actually think there is something in the argument Patel puts forward, and this is what she said. "Did those close long-term friends of William and Kate have their approval to talk? Did Kate and William, in fact, sanction this article in the Times magazine about her intentions when she becomes queen? We may never know, but even if they did not, it is surely ill-advised of their close circle to talk about her future in this way. Kate would never have intended any slight against Camilla, of course, but I can't be the only person to think that this emphasis on her queenly qualities is a slap in the face for the present queen." And she added, "Charles and Camilla are still working full tilt with many engagements planned in the diary for this year, including a joint official state visit to the United States." So this is the Declaration of Independence 250 events where we think Charles is going to be there probably in April and William and Kate maybe will go out in July. And so Patel says there will come a time to hail the ascension or accession of King William and Queen Catherine, but it is not yet. It's just too soon for anyone to be cheering "Arise, Queen Kate." And that is the bit that I think I agree with most of all, which is just, give them a break, give them a little bit of space to establish themselves as the King and Queen.
Now, if that was Harry and Meghan, they would start declaring elder abuse, right? I think this is elder abuse. The fact that, and see, it wasn't so bad for William to pull that crap on Charles. But when Kate and her people went after Camilla, well, that was just a bridge too far. And now they are paying the price for it. Don't you ask yourself who recorded William and those kids walking from the helicopter into Kensington Palace? Don't you want to know who recorded that? How often does the paparazzi take any images of the royals? the left behind royals. It is extremely rare. It is extremely rare. But yet somebody thought that Kate needed to be humbled. And the same with William. This obsession with, oh, I just can't wait to be king. This obsession with what you're going to do when your father is dead. Dead. Not some, it's not just that William would be going through his ascension. His father will be down in that storm cellar along with Philip and Lizzie and the ashes of Margaret, Cookie, and what's his name? The Queen's father. All of them down in the storm cellar together. It's not a festive thing. It is the loss of a monarch. And for those who feel it's important, it's just so tacky. It is the height of tacky. This pursuit of declaring your intentions when your father is dead. As though there's some rush. The monarchy is not rushed. It's not hurried. You just simply have to be. You go through that red box and you sign everything and you stamp it and you send it back. That's the extent of your role. Because we already know there won't be any unveiling of the plaques. There's not going to be cut ribbons. There are going to be slow motion videos of Kate walking through the forest, Willie trying to look like a global statesman. No real work. And in between videos, they are going to go to their respective homes. Kate to her home and Willie to his home. Tacky.
Come a time when it makes total sense to do stories speculating about the next reign. But, it wasn't just the Mail. The Daily Beast's royalist Substack, which is run by Tom Sykes, reported some jealousy on Charles's part. The headline was Queen Kate angers jealous Charles. And the piece read that a glossy Times profile hailing Catherine as Queen has sharpened royal rivalries and highlighted an awkward reality for the palace. Kate now outshines Camilla by a... Kate, I think, has kind of always outshined Camilla, in no small part because of the complicated history about Camilla and Diana. But the key thing really is, and it's fine in a way, it's fine for Kate to outshine Camilla, but Kensington Palace need to make sure that they're perceived to be being fair to the King and Queen and sensitive to the kind of difficult aspects of it. I feel a bit sorry for Kate. She has had a difficult time of it. She was caught up this week in the Grok AI images scandal. So Grok is
okay. I'm done with him. Someone made some AI images of Catherine, the Princess of Lazy, and I don't care about that. But yeah. It's interesting that this is very little to do with the Sussexes, and he is speaking directly about, and that was the second half of that video. I started at the 10-minute mark. There was plenty stuff before that. So if you want to, watch it yourself, even though it is Newsweek and we hate giving them any credit, but or any engagement. The title is Princess Kate Cover Could Spark Palace Drama. And it has to do with that article, Arise, Queen Kate or whatever. So very, very clumsy on their part. Yeah, very clumsy. I don't know. Yeah, it was just ridiculous. And it's not that I have any sympathy for Charles and Camilla, but it just goes to show exactly how unprepared Will and Kate are. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to watch them implode. If you're doing this before you reach the throne, what are you going to do when you get there? William with his explosive temper, and Kate with her Kate. But what it adds up to is that in order to try to save face, they are going to have to push even harder to discredit Harry and Meghan, to try and manipulate the headlines against them. The only reason why they have the level of popularity that they have is because of the daily dose of Will good, Harry bad, Kate good, Meghan bad. That is the reason. However, as I said, they do not have the higher numbers that Harry had before the hate campaign. They do not have those high numbers that Queen Elizabeth had for just simply being Queen Elizabeth. They don't have those numbers. They're averaging about 20 points below the performance of Harry before the hate campaign, who tied with the Queen, and sometime he actually surpassed the Queen. 92, 93% approval. And now, thanks to the tabloid media, it has gone into this downward spiral. The only time that the numbers have really shifted more in favor of the Sussexes was after the Oprah interview, after the book Spare, after the book Endgame. When the public has a massive dose of the facts, their numbers decline. And dear God, let me get this face off the screen. Okay, down to earth Kate family birthday lunch. When Harry and Meghan dine out in California, that's right, make it about Harry and Meghan first. The whole world seems to know about it. The Princess of Wales, by contrast, was able to celebrate her birthday in peace. You want to know why? Because she never goes anywhere. I hear that when Catherine turned 44 last Friday, the future queen enjoyed lunch with her mother, Carol Middleton, and her sister, Pippa, at a tiny French restaurant. The Fungi Club in Hartford, Hungerford Berks. Oh, that's a weird name. We had the enormous pleasure of welcoming a rather extraordinary. Get the crap out of here! A rather extraordinary guest. A rather extraordinary guest. Did the guests give a speech on her birthday? Did they tell Kate, speech? I bet you they didn't. I'd bet you anything that nobody required Kate to speak, that is, on the occasion of her birthday. And with good reason, too. I can assure you that. But then again, how bad could it be, huh? How bad could it possibly be if she did decide to speak on her birthday?
Face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Okay, that could probably happen. I get it now. I get it now. Probably better to just to let her sit there. Probably better to just let her sit there, to give her some Crayola crayons and a coloring book, or let her doodle on the tablecloth or whatever, Probably better to do that. I wonder if Kate wore period costume. I wonder if she went dressed up in period costume. But then again, when is she not in period costume? That's what I want to know. She always looks like she's at least 10 or 20 years behind. And that's to put it mildly. So looks like William snubbed Kate's down-to-earth birthday celebration, as well as not wishing her a public happy birthday on their social, like he did in 2025. He didn't wish her happy birthday either. When the minions think they are being snarky about the Montecito royals, but end up slipping up on the truth about the lazy ones. And I doubt Pippa was there either, because that's another feud they are trying to kill. Yeah, that's another feud that they're trying to kill. I doubt if Pippa was there. Pippa don't get down with her sister like that. She was utterly charming, gracious, and every bit as radiant in person as you'd imagine. They add that it was a little moment of magic for our small bistro, and one we won't forget. And I'm pretty sure that Kate did say a very warm thank you.
Face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact. Leaders, you'll face the daily challenge of finding the balance between profitability and having a positive impact.
Okay. Now, that was a nice little pep talk that she gave on that occasion, but I wonder how well that went over at the anyway. So go get him, girl. So let me see here. Kate at 44. How Princess of Wales is helping ease the monarchy's Harry and Meghan problem, her total loyalty to William, and how she succeeded by being totally different to Diana. Dressing like her is not totally different, right? Well, I don't know. I guess that's it then. Let me see. How does that say that again? By being totally different to Diana. Is she totally different? I mean, yes, there's one glaringly obvious thing that's different. Diana wasn't lazy. Kate is lazy. William is lazy. That's the difference. Well, thank you very much. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody throws shade like I do. Baby, I'm the best. All right. Now, what is that? Prince William has been criticized for his slender schedule in 2025, which saw him work less than a third of the days in the year. How much work did Prince William really do in 2025? That's easy. Not much. Next. And of course, the need for a crisis manager. What is this need for a crisis manager? I cannot help but think that we are going to get an announcement. It would serve them better to get it over with before another coronation is on the books. They need to just get it over with. Yeah, they need to just get it over with because it's not going to get better because they stay quiet. Did you guys see this new content creator who says that that William has broken the trust between himself and Kate? And when she says that, she kind of points to a particular area. Have you guys seen that? I don't want to say too much, but she just kind of uses her hands to describe things that she doesn't want to say aloud, lest she should get in trouble. But yeah, anyway, I just discovered her. I believe she's from TikTok, and I'm actually following her, and before I recommend the channel, I want to just, see a few more things, but so far, so solid. So far, so solid. But yeah, I'll probably share it later on this week when I feel more comfortable. Or should I say this weekend, since it's already Thursday. Okay. But yeah, let me take another look at it before I do that. Oh, you like her, right? I thought she was wonderful. What the Meghan and Harry divorce rumors reveal about the state of the Wales' marriage? Well, it is to distract. It's a deflection. Yeah, it is to deflect. So, well, let me just see what Feminagra has to say. That would be the best thing. Listen, everyone, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And if you do not have a membership, remember memberships to Royal Sussex starts at a low price of just $4.99 once a month. So we're just simply asking you to forfeit 1 cup of coffee per, I almost did it again, each month to help support this channel. And how about this? I don't know how much that comes to with a family of 4. I don't even want to know. Okay, let me find the. Oh, is that it? No. Let me find the corresponding. There it is. So, according to Feminagra, one of my favorite sources, as you know, the media has spent days insisting that Meghan Sussex and Prince Harry are drifting toward divorce. The claims arrive thick with certainty and thin on proof, as there are no documents, no on-record resources, and no proximity to the couple's actual life. The same outlets that missed Meghan Sussex's UK business collaboration entirely, yet now claim clairvoyance over her marriage. That contradiction matters because it exposes a familiar pattern. When scrutiny builds around the prince and princess of Wales, the spotlight shifts west to California. Divorce chatter floods the space and does the work, revealing that every accusation is a confession about the Welleses. It's very, very tacky, not to mention just plain wrong. There's nothing wrong with the Sussexes' marriage, but they need to deflect away from the principles. It continues, the Sussex divorce story has no sources. Recent headlines recycle the same language: divided priorities, huge test, truly broken, and backup plan. Each phrase traces back to anonymous sourcing, often laundered through Radar Online before appearing in women's media and tabloids with softened attributions. The certainty increases as the evidence disappears. And they really need to stop this. Multiple outlets recycled unverified divorce claims about the Sussexes, relying on anonymous experts and speculation rather than evidence or on-record sources. Prince Harry's traveling alone sparks instant speculation. Meghan Sussex smiling beside her husband gets recorded as tension. The press treats ordinary marital that is, movements as evidence of collapse. Yet none of these stories explain how reporters suddenly gained access to private marital discussions they have never managed to access before. Okay, let me go down here. The British media did not know about Meghan Sussex's recent UK collaboration with Sabri. They also failed repeatedly to predict the Sussexes' commercial moves. Reporters confidently claimed Netflix had dropped the couple, citing unnamed insiders. Netflix itself later disproved that narrative. Those same insiders never reported Meghan's first look deal, a standard arrangement routinely offered to established creatives. There were no rumors about Netflix as investing in Meghan's business. Yet, as ever, with Meghan Sussex disclosed herself on Instagram in February of 2025. Even more telling, the press failed to report that Ted Sarandos, Netflix co-CEO, had expressed satisfaction with Meghan's work. Those same insiders failed to report Meghan's appearance at the Paris Fashion Week or Prince Harry's visit to Ukraine. Yet readers are asked to believe they possess precise insight into the state of the Sussexes' marriage. These sources consistently miss strategy, timing, and real-world movements, but suddenly claim authority on a private marital collapse. The media's coverage relies on projection rather than reporting. It fills the informational space with wishful fulfillment rather than cold facts. In other words, any of us could do that work. any of us. Don't you remember when they said that some of the writers of African descent for the tabloids, I won't name an individual tabloid, I'm just going to say the tabloids, that when they needed to, I guess, they said, how did they put that? They said, let me make sure I get this right. Oh, it'll come back to me. It just slipped my mind. Oh, it just slipped my mind. Oh, well, it just slipped my mind. I had it and then I lost it. Senior moment. Okay, while the Sussexes absorbed marital speculations, documented developments around the Welleses received careful handling. Last year, Prince William hired the firm that handled Princess Diana's divorce. The palace press insisted the choice signaled independence from King Charles, but the explanation never fit. A man set to inherit titles, estates, and wealth does not prove autonomy through a divorce from a divorce firm that is tied to his parents' split. So, in other words, if you are that singular, if you are that talented, if you are that individual, then you don't need to go to a very shallow pool of attorneys or barristers or lawyers or whatever. You could go a little bit broader and find an up-and-coming talent or, someone who's not part of the establishment. He didn't want that. So, very, very telling, that right there. Very telling. Now, we're almost there, you guys. We're almost done with this article. This month, William hired a crisis manager. Again, coverage pointed, that is, elsewhere. It blamed Harry and Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. It avoided the most obvious context. Crisis manager enters when a reputation requires control and to contain fallout. Like if you just one day say, guess what, love? Me and Kate are not together anymore. If you say that, you're going to need a crisis manager. Then came the visuals. Video showed William arriving with Prince George, Princess Charlotte, carrying overnight bags, dog in tow, not the queen consort, a real dog. Well, okay, the four-legged dog in tow. Anyone familiar with shared custody recognizes the image. The press declined to explore it. As a matter of fact, the press didn't even want to know who recorded it. They don't even want to know who recorded it. At the same time, since her cancer-free status has been announced in September of 2024, reports say Kate Middleton would not undertake major foreign tours. William would travel alone. Articles framed the separation as health discretion or modern royal working patterns. The words soften the reality. Does it though? Okay, let's do a final thought from Feminagra. And that was largely true, as most of William's 2025 engagements did not include the Princess of Wales. Kate did not attend Earthshot in Brazil with William. She withdrew from Royal Ascot at the last minute. Her joint engagements were limited to tightly staged appearances, and her annual engagement counts remained among the lowest reported. Kate was described as downsizing and living on her own terms in Forest Lodge, while William continued to work from Kensington Palace. So there you have it. There you have it. So ITV's Royal Carol Together at Christmas, hosted by Kate Middleton, failed to rank in Barb's top 50 TV shows. It was a flop, a failure. It was a loser, a failure, and a short-sighted panty waist. That's what it was. Now, I didn't really understand that graph on the right side at first, but I get it now. You know what it says? It says Kate's not there. Yeah, it's saying that Kate is not there. That's what it says. And from Kate not being there on that list, that means her show did not make the top 50. That means it was a flop. A bona fide flop. Whereas Meghan was in the top 10 in 25 countries. Top 10, Ireland. Top 10, UK. Top 10, United States. Top. But not William and Kate. I mean, not Kate. Not at the top. I know I should have warned you. Prince William and Kate are going to Scotland next week to avoid Prince Harry. When in doubt, leave. I repeat, when in doubt, leave. They do not want to be in the same town as, as Prince Harry. They don't want to be in the same town. So it couldn't have happened to a nice person. Now, we're in the home stretch, you guys. We are in the home stretch. A matter of fact, I have just one more thing after this one. Be like a flower, spread beauty silently. Shh. Right? I know that kind of goes over your head. I'm not sure I get it. Be like a flower, spread beauty silently. Ooh, that's so deep, I'm not sure. But anyway, now let's end this debate once and for all, because you all accuse me of making a horrible mistake in the bathroom. You guys seem to believe I don't have my priorities straight in the bathroom, that that I'm not doing the right thing, that I'm not accommodating people properly in my bathroom. I know, what the hell am I talking about? This. Now, some of you weirdos, for some reason, like your toilet paper B, your loo paper. Whereas sensible, hardworking, thought-provoking, polite, elegant, lovely, kind, spirited people like myself like to roll the paper the other way. You see the difference? I like it under. Some of you all like it over. And you know what? Some of you all are kind of weird. And just for that, I won't let you use my loo. You'll just have to hold it until you can find some place where they roll the toilet paper the wrong way. Got it? Unless I get a full written apology. Now, this guy, I have to warn you, his language is a little dodgy, but I'm going to do this for the sake of conversation. Now, he has an opinion about people who support A. I don't agree with his opinion, but in the spirit of fair play, I will allow him the opportunity to explain in a public forum at a time and a place of my choosing. I will do that because I can be a very tough man, but I'm also very fair. So let's get this going here. Wow, if I could find it. Seemed like it was just right there, wasn't it? Okay, let me try this again. So that you guys may appreciate the errs of your way. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, wait. Okay, I got it. No worries, you guys. I can do this. And trust me when I say this, you'll all have to live with yourselves after this. I feel very sad for you all, but you all are going to have to live with this. I feel as though there has been some rigging of the outcome here. Are you ready? Here goes.
The easiest way to find out if somebody you know is a psychopath or not is to go into their bathroom and look at their toilet paper, okay? If it's set up where you can pull from the front, they're good. Don't worry. If it's set up the other way, where you're pulling from behind like this, that person is literally insane.
Okay. Did you get all that? I hope you can read lips. Can you all read lips?
The easiest way to find out if somebody you know is a psychopath or not is to go into their bathroom and look at their toilet paper, okay? If it's set up where you can pull from the front, they're good. Don't worry. If it's set up the other way, where you're pulling from behind like was a psychopath or not.
I think I just heard an F-bomb. So this young man is of the opinion that if you pull the toilet paper from the outside rather than in, from the top rather than behind or whatever, from the front as opposed to behind, then you're a normal person. But if you do it like I do, apparently you are a psychopath and you need to hurry up and get the out of there. I beg your pardon, sir. There is absolutely nothing wrong with me. Oh, Vivian, happy birthday. Many happy returns of the day. Well, I tell you what, guys, since we have reached the end of our broadcast day, why don't we do a little salsa for Vivian, shall we? Let's do a little salsa for Vivian. All right, a birthday salsa. All right. Happy birthday. Hey, whose birthday was yesterday? Wasn't there a birthday yesterday and I didn't do a salsa? Whose birthday was yesterday? Was that Vivian or someone else? Anybody? I don't remember whose birthday it was, but I neglected to do a salsa. Anyway, I'll get you next year, whoever it was. All right, you guys. I guess that ends the great debate. I think you all are weird for doing B, but I will be the lone holdout for A because I feel as though A is the only proper way to use the loo paper. If I don't stand alone, then I'd have to face the consequences because they say if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Okay, love you guys. I'll see you all next time. Next time, we'll have to do this again real soon. Don't forget to hit the like button. Also, consider a membership. There's also PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and what's the other one? Something else. Oh, I can't think. But anyway, cheers. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, well, all right. Happy birthday. Many happy returns of the day.